The other thing I did was the 180 complete opposite of that in quality. And when a friend of mine and my girlfriend were hanging out, she realized that neither of us, my friend and I, had not seen The Room by Mr. Tommy Wiseau.
Finally.
And I watched that piece of shit.
Okay. So before...
I wanted to have a Let's Watch, but I guess not.
Before, what's it called? What's the new project that...
Disaster Artist
comes out.
Which, by the way, the movie,
yeah.
James Franco, that premiered at a film festival.
Yeah.
Oscar buzz.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No. Before Disaster Artist drops.
Yes.
I gotta.
Yeah.
I gotta experience this.
I would actually, since you've now watched it, you should either listen to the audiobook of Disaster Artist because it's fantastic because the guy that plays Mark, he narrates it and he does a spot on impression of Tom. I talked about this before on the podcast. And you should either do that or watch the movie before the movie comes out because the movie's supposed to come out in like this year for sure.
So
it's finished.
And like Veronica Mars is involved.
Everyone's Bryan Cranston is in it.
Everyone's a huge fan.
I had heard many things over the years about this movie because it is very bad, and I've heard some from Matt.
No, it's not. It's not even bad. It's beyond bad.
Transcendent
and
revolutionary.
And
transcending history in the world.
I expected
a tale of spoons and marks.
I don't know what I expected. But like, it lived up to its absurd hype. I guess, is it hype? I don't know.
Yes. It's gravitas.
It blew away my expectations. Like, the moment where I turned to the room, not any individual person, but just the room that we are in, talking, watching a movie, and going, are these motherfuckers in front of a green screen?
Yes.
Was like a turning point.
Because the background is CG'd in, and not CG'd, but like poorly
when they're on the roof, it was
very
CG.
Very poorly.
No, I heard.
The drugs and these quotes that I've been hearing for years finally putting into their weird...
And to think...
Oh, man.
We were like 2 steps of the 2 degrees of separation away from
Mr. Wiseau.
From Mr. Wiseau himself. Through
the Tommy Wiseau show.
Through the Tommy Wiseau show. Yeah.
That always gets expelled from my
our co-broadcasters.
Brain drains, yeah. There's really not much that could be...
This is the first bad movie I've ever watched that I'm like, I should watch that again.
No, I constantly think about watching it
because after the movie, we were talking, and I missed tons of shit.
Yeah.
I missed tons of shit. I'm like, why were they doing this in that scene? And my girlfriend's like, because this happened. I'm like, wait, what? When did that happen? Like, when you were freaking out over the green screen. Like, oh, okay. Oh.
Okay, why were they wearing tuxes in that one scene? They weren't...
I tried...
There's no reason.
I tried for a while to figure out why they were wearing tuxes.
They weren't getting tuxes fitted. It wasn't a dress rehearsal.
Nope.
It wasn't anything.
Well, they sure weren't getting tuxes fitted because Tommy's tux fit like a fucking pile of rags.
Swimming in it.
Apparently, the script that they shot with and the lines that were on camera were all like improved, better versions of the original script that was even worse. And another ridiculous thing is apparently it was shot in super high definition as well as film. But then
at the same time.
Yeah, but then they just never ended up ever touching the digital.
So because they're filming with 2 different cameras at 2 different qualities at the same time, from what you've seen, Patrick, how much do you think the movie cost to make? Like, think about the sets. Think about, the general quality of it. How much do you think it cost?
What it should have cost? What it should have cost is sub $1 million.
Okay, so, like, just for something to compare it to, Aliens in 1986 cost $14 million.
That's correct.
But a lot of movies in the 80s cost around that. So, The Room cost $6 million of Tommy's own money.
It's the shittiest looking movie I've ever seen. There's a shot.
Again, I didn't get to the bottom line here, which was he filmed an entire second copy of the movie and has never touched that footage because they just transferred the film
there's
footage
or something like
to
that.
Blu-ray.
Yeah.
There's a shot later in the film where there's 8 seconds into the scene, you can tell there's a red shift because they're using like shitty or old film.
Yeah.
And it's clear. I'm like, why?
No, all right. I got to schedule this. This is on there.
All right. No, I'm coming over.
The first line of dialogue in the movie is dubbed.
No, all of Tommy is dubbed.
Okay. All of it?
Yeah. He had infinite takes.
We'll have a little viewing party.
Also, hey, no, one last thing. You know when he says, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa"?
Yes, that is the famous line.
So during all of filming that scene, he kept saying, "You are taking me apart, Lisa." And they're like, "Tommy, you're trying to rip off the line that James Dean says in one of his movies where he's saying, 'You're tearing me apart.' But you wrote in the script, 'taking me apart.' That's wrong for the reference you are trying to reference. You wrote it as taking. It's tearing." And he goes, "No. You want to say tearing because that's what you're trying to reference." Okay, whatever. Just does it. And he's like, like.
Yeah. No, it's
he's a special boy.
And he loves James Dean and he constantly talks about him. It's fucking magic.
There's the idea of this.
So remember, Tommy Wiseau appears in Samurai Cop 2 as the main antagonist. So it's him versus Samurai Cop.
Is there ever like an explanation for why?
No.
Like where does the money come from?
I told you. In the book, the disaster artist is inferred that Tommy imports genes from somewhere. Okay. And he owns several buildings in his name.
So he's independently wealthy.
Whenever anyone asks him, even as casually and as friendly as you could ever, because it's really cheeky to ask, where do you get your money from, you know?
Yeah.
But like, where does the money come from, Tommy? He's like, oh, from Street Fashions USA. I work for them.
Right.
And they look it up and it doesn't exist.
Right. Okay.
Importing jeans.
It's a fucking trip, man.